This is our first part in a 5-part series of investing in real estate with little to no money, and the first thing we're going to talk about is wholesaling. So real estate investing is a great way to build wealth, but it can seem kind of daunting when you consider, trying to save money for a down payment and closing costs. What I want to talk to you guys today about is how to invest in real estate with little to no money down. And there's a few different ways you can do that. And it's not necessarily buying a house. I mean, it might be, but not always. First option that you have at your disposal is called wholesaling. And that's when you get a property under contract and you sell the contract to another buyer for a fee. So imagine that I'm a buyer and I'm willing to pay $505,000 for some house. And let's say you negotiate a deal with the seller at $500,000. Well, because I'm willing to pay $505,000, what I do is I pay you $5,000 for the right to step into the contract at $500,000. So you get $5,000 and the seller gets their $500,000 and everybody's happy. So you can get a property under contract. It costs you no money out of pocket. Now, the key here is a few things. One, making sure you're structuring the deal in a way that makes it attractive to another buyer, right? So if I only think the property is worth $450,000 and you have it under contract for $500,000, then no one is going to buy the contract from you. So you have to, get a good buy up front. The second thing you need to have is the ability to move quickly on these things. So you need to have a list of ready to go buyers or investors and know how their mind works and how they're going to analyze the property, so you know that when you're writing an offer and getting it under contract, that it's a contract that's saleable to the next person. The last piece of the puzzle is you want to make sure that you have your assignment contracts, basically the contract for assigning the contract. You want to have that in place and have it reviewed by your attorneys and make sure that's ironclad as well. We want to make sure that when we're doing real estate transactions, whether you're coming up with money out of pocket or not, that we have solid contracts and that all parties understand what they're getting into. Another thing to think about when it comes to wholesaling is make sure that when you write the offer and sign a contract with the seller, that it's an assignable contract. So sometimes you might find yourself in a position, if you're using the wrong forms, that you get a property under contract, but you're not allowed by the terms of the contract to assign it to another person. Most standard Association of Realtor forms do allow you to assign the contract. So you're just going to want to make sure all your paperwork is in place, your buyer network is in place, your deal structure is in place, and that you know what you're doing when it comes to analyzing the deal so that you can sell the piece of paper to someone for an actual profit. So I think the mistake that a lot of novice investors make is they think that the hardest part of a real estate transaction is coming up with the money. But in our world, money is plentiful. Finding the money is not the hard part. The hardest part for any investor is finding the right deal. So that's why with wholesaling, you can make good money and make a profit simply by finding the deal and not coming up with any money out of pocket, because that's valuable to the investor that you're assigning the contract to, because finding the deal and getting an offer accepted in a deal structure that's a good deal, that's the hardest part. So if you as a potential wholesaler can become good at finding the deals and getting good deals under contract, that is valuable to the investors who will pay you a premium to buy your contract from you.